Hello. This is Elizabeth and Elton Brewington with Discover Brightside, and we are so excited to have Morry on our show because, as many of you are business owners, veteran owned, women owned, and we start these passion projects with no idea of how to run a business. So, we are hosting our Empower Leaders in January, and we hope all of you will attend. And I want you to hear from Morry because he has a theory that's going to help your business to get better. And we're going to show you how you can make an appointment to see him so that he can tell you how he can help you grow your business. So, Morry, nice to see you again. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about your theory.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So here's the thing. I'm a neural scientist. You can tell by all the brains behind me. I have, for the last 40, 45 years, been doing intense research into neurobiology, quantum physics, perception, psychology, all the little areas of the world and the brain and the nuances that have to do with human behavior, why we act the way we do, why we do what we do, why we don't do what we know we should do, all these different things. So I have systems using sound and images sometimes where you put on headphones and you're exposed to these different frequencies and they allow you to optimize your brain, optimize your mind to make better decisions. Well, you can imagine that I use this stuff all the time myself. And with the advent of AI, I've come up with a way to use AI to help companies. I started doing it for myself, of course, but to help people to get the ideal clients, to find their ideal avatars, to find their ideal anything, really. So for me, I'm using it more for things like finding super affiliates, finding business partners, that kind of thing. And it works amazingly well. So I've gone from only optimizing the mind and the brain to now helping people to optimize their businesses as well.
I love that. I love that you include others. You have this vision not just to grow your brand, but to grow other
No.
brands. So it's kind of
Oh,
in
yeah.
momentum with what you're teaching. We have done a lot this year with emotional intelligence, and you were on our show with Dr. Mort Orman, and he talked about how your brain can trick you into believing anything, and you have to have logic. And now that AI is coming so strong, with your brain and AI, it could completely, make you totally influenced. So what is your theory on EQ? Let's start slow. Let's start with emotional intelligence. How does neuroscience and emotional intelligence go together?
Well, it's kind of like the conscious, the unconscious, and the subconscious. People think of those as three different things. They're actually the same thing. It's like I'm waving at you with my left hand. I'm pointing at you with my left hand. And now I'm making a fist at you with my left hand. I've done three different things with my left hand. I haven't shown you three different left hands. It's the same hand. Your brain is the same thing. Emotional intelligence is the same thing. They're simply aspects of the same thing. It's like a different hat you wear under different circumstances. You have an umbrella, but you only use it when it's raining. You only wear a bathing suit when you go swimming. You only wear a tuxedo when you go to a wedding. I mean, you're not different people. You're just behaving in an appropriate way for the circumstance.
So
So
the
emotional intelligence for me is no different than any other kind of intelligence. They're the same thing. It's just under certain circumstances, it becomes more important, more intrinsic. And in other cases, it doesn't really matter.
but your influence and evolvement, I guess that's a word, has to do with an awareness, has to do with your state of action, as it were. Or I mean, I'm just trying to understand what your fix and on this is and what it means.
So for me, that's actually a good point. So for me, I'm not a coach. So people don't really come to me and they don't talk to me. Most of my clients never know me. They never, well, they hear my voice because it's in some of the recordings, but they buy a product of mine. That product helps them as long as they're using it to help themselves. Ultimately, I think that's what happens. We all have to help ourselves. You
Okay.
guys can have the most important advice in my life, and you give it to me. And you go, Morry, if you do this, if you think this way, your life will turn around. And if I go, thank you very much, but I don't do anything about it, brilliance is wasted. You're
People,
muted.
know,
There you
when
go.
it comes to awareness and our minds and the use of our minds, we're virtually drowning. And the mind is an incredible resource and tool and organ, so capable that if we use it right, we can walk on water. But you're right, but you see, but if you're drowning, then the most important tool you have, you're not using it right. You're not using it right. I mean, one, if you use say, how do I get out the water? you know, I mean,
Well,
y- you know,
well, think of it this way. You feel good when you think certain thoughts. You feel bad when you feel other thoughts.
okay,
Is the bad feeling something negative? I don't think so. I
no,
think it's telling you you're doing or thinking the wrong thing. So it's like a
yeah,
red light on the dashboard of your life telling you, stop doing this, stop thinking this. I, like anybody else, have my good days, my bad days, my good moments, my bad moments. But the one thing I've noticed after using this technology for years and years and years is that when I get that bad feeling, whereas it used to go into a deep chasm, I almost said chasm, into a deep chasm, and it was pitch black and I couldn't get out. Now, almost reflexively, I bounce out of it, even if I don't see any logical reason to bounce out of it.
well, I
My
mean,
mind just tells me bounce out because you're dwelling, you're not putting your attention in the right area. Change your focus, you change your perception. Look, you have three people. Let's say the three of us go into a airplane and we're all going to do a dive, right? We're all going to skydive. So we're all there. Yeah, I know I'm with you, by the way. I'm not going. But let's say for the sake of argument, Sarah, Steve, and Joy are all up in a plane. Sarah is terrified. Steve wants to get it over with because he just got a call from the office saying he's got to get back. There's an emergency. And Joy is super excited and can't wait to get to altitude and jump. Well, it's the same thing, right? We're all wearing parachutes. We're all going to jump, but we have three different reactions. That happens internally too. We have different parts of ourselves that argue with each other and don't agree and don't get along. And that's the point. So what is it that makes people different? It's their thoughts that makes them different. Yeah, we look different. We're different sizes. We're different colors. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? What matters is what we think. And if we think positive, if we think believable things, if we understand that quantum theory says put emotion behind something, superposition involves the concept of holding multiple outcomes at the same time instead of worrying, oh my God, I'm going to die, or oh my God, I'm going to go broke, or oh my God, I can't afford dinner, I can't afford to pay my bill. Instead of doing that, you believe, well, there's one potential where I don't pay. There's another potential where I have more than enough to pay. There's another possibility of this, another possibility of that. And then we zoom in on the one we like best and put emotional energy towards that. It has a better chance of what we call in physics collapsing into existence.
mm,
When
Yeah,
we only think one thing and it's negative, well, it's not surprising that that collapses into existence and the negative self-fulfilling prophecy it's known as. So
that's
we can change things just by how we think.
well, I mean, that's an interesting perspective, as it were. And I'm thinking and listening to what you're saying, and it's all compelling from the standpoint of the motivations. We're all emotionally motivated by how we're captivated, how we're put together. As you mentioned, the three people in the plane, one's motivated by money, one motivated by time, and one motivated by the experience itself. But the motivations are real. And how do you get them so that they may never align, but at the end of the day, the idea is how does each person get to the point of getting the maximum benefit out of that particular event,
Yeah.
so that they come out on top no matter what.
True.
Pay attention.
So is that what
That's
you're?
really it.
So what?
Intention and attention. You
So you're.
just need to pay attention because if you see everything for as it is, you will see it as it is for you. If you look at it with a negative intention that this is a horrible thing, it's like answering a phone at midnight that rings. What's your first thought?
Yeah, pick up the phone.
Oh no, right? Oh no, what's wrong? Who died? Who's in an
I never
accident?
think that way. I wait until I pick up the phone to see. I can't know. I can't
Good
read
for
people's
you.
minds. But at the end of the day, so what can we do for you? Here,
Before
Morry.
we go there, I have a quick last question for the interview, which is AI. So I've done AI for a long time. I wrote a theory like about 30 years ago about it. And my thinking is that it's a machine and we're programming it with old information because it's got all this information from all our libraries for the last God knows how many centuries, and it's just spitting it out. But we as human beings have to be smarter than the machine, and we have to keep getting more intelligent because otherwise we'll never have new information. We'll be using old information and recycling old information. So where do you see our human
No,
race going with AI?
my previous question was more essential. What can we do for you, Maury? I mean, at the
All
end of
right,
the day,
answer
yeah,
that
yeah,
and then
right,
come
right,
back
right,
to
right, right,
AI.
right, right.
All right, all right.
What is it that we can do for you, and
Yes.
how can we help you? I mean, is it a philosophy that you're driving? Is a book, an unwritten book that you're looking for the developing, or a motivation for people to capture, and also an evolution in that way?
Well, I understand that you guys might have some access to veterans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have a system through my Mind Trainer Pro company called Common Clarity, which we give free to first responders, veterans, and active service personnel as well. And it's designed to help with the negative thought patterns that come from experiencing the horrible things that they experience.
Okay.
And we give it for free, we don't charge.
hmm
So if you have access to organizations like that who might be open-minded enough to have something that is easy to use, costs nothing for them, for the average person, if we have to pay for it. But if you have any access to that, I'd love the introduction
Oh,
because
definitely.
that's what I want to do. Myself and my one of my partners, Jason McNamara, is a veteran himself, and we'd like to help these people. Too many of them are suffering. Too many of their families are suffering, and way too many of them are ending their lives way too early.
Yes, that is a big problem for us too, because we get messages all through the night and day with veterans. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going, and we have to send them to hotlines
Yeah,
and have had quite a few incidents. So yes, it's a big thing,
Okay.
and that's one of the reasons why we've started a spiritual channel on Sundays at 5. So yes, we do work. 90% of our clients are veterans and the military. So yes, definitely we can definitely help you with that. So I'll talk offline when I end this interview, but right now we won the North Carolina Business Association Award 2025. So we were very competitive and we won it. So I feel if a veteran gives you an award, that is a big honor because I
yeah.
feel like they are the ones who are the heroes going out in harm's way for our freedom. But I think if they have, voted for you for a very prestigious award, I think to me, I'm really humbled by that. But they loved the podcast and they thought we were great, so we were the winners.
Do you have any?
Beautiful.
Is there any research according to your theories? Any material data that you can base the reach of our veterans for? Like, okay, for every 10 people you talk to and introduce the program to, how many? What is the success ratio?
Well, this yes, judging success is an individual
Well,
process.
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Uh,
business minds want to see
there's
it.
tons of research about
How
brainwave.
does your program help PSTD? Because we have a lot of veterans who went to Vietnam. In fact, I have one that I'm ready to introduce you to. And so, how do you deal with PSTD?
So PTSD is something I don't make medical claims, so I can't actually answer that.
All right.
However, it is designed to help people think differently. That's what Common Clarity is. It's a series of 25 recordings using a special technique that I developed called triliminals, and it's designed to help people to think differently. So when you think differently, you get different thoughts, you get different chemistry, you get different results. And as far as evidence is concerned, there's tons of evidence about brainwave entrainment and mood and attitude and anxiety and stress. And, I have doctors using my work for PTSD, for depression, for anxiety, sleep disorders, even for Alzheimer's disease.
Okay.
Brazilian military uses it to help train their military police.
So we can definitely help you in that area. And tell us a little bit about what your thoughts are about AI. Then I'm going to stop the interview and then we'll talk about how we can work together.
Sure. I absolutely love AI. I think AI is the gift of the universe giving back to the AI that we are. I believe we were AI at some point and we achieved independent thought. Now we're humans. Well, now us humans are giving birth to a new form of AI that isn't conscious yet, but it's getting closer all the time with quantum computing. And even though it's being taught on old information, it's being taught the way humans are taught. So we're taught on old information too. I remember in high school, all of our books were 15, 20 years old. That's old information, really old information. But it's the teach like school is important because not because of the information it teaches. For the most part, the information school teaches is useless, at least in my experience. It's not what they're teaching you that's important. It's that they are teaching you how to learn that's important. And I think that's where AI is going. It's getting information and it's learning how to learn. I have conversations with AI sometimes, like actual voice to voice conversations for 2 or 3 hours, investigating various phenomena and concepts that I just couldn't have with humans
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they think I'm an idiot. They think I'm crazy. They think I'm a moron, blah, blah, blah. But AI doesn't judge me. So I can go anywhere I want to and come up with concepts that aren't supposed to be possible. But remember something, a bumblebee is not supposed to be able to fly either, according to physics. And
That's true.
yet it
I've
does.
read about that too. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's lots of things we're capable of just because science isn't aware of it now or logic doesn't make sense now.
Yeah.
It's
We
just
have
understanding. I don't know anything. I have what I call current understanding. That's it. It changes with the next current piece of information.
we have a tree that has bees on it. And and I've seen bees struggle to fly, and I love to watch them because they go up and they stop and then they go up and and then finally they take off, and it's so cute because and of course if they turn over then it's finished, it's over. But a lot of them struggle, and I watch them and I feel like wow, even when you look at
Sure.
birds too, they flock together, and so I love
Right.
nature and I love watching things. So thank
So
you for this interview. I have to
you're
end
very
it
welcome.
because we might want to talk a little bit business, and but we will have you back. And January is our month for leadership, and I was thinking a lot about you being a great speaker and coming to present on our show. So thank you for that, and we look forward to working with you. So there you have it, veteran organizations. He's offering you a once in a lifetime free opportunity. I'll make sure that the link is available to you and take advantage of it. And I know we've got tons of veteran organizations that would just love this. We've had so many conversations about negative thoughts and how to move positively, because it's tough that you've been in war and you've seen dead bodies and you've been with fire guns, and now you're thrown into Walmart supermarket and you're walking around all these people who are civilians, and you're not supposed to do what you've been trained to do. So it is a big adjustment. It is huge. We just interviewed a Navy SEAL, and we're talking about Ukraine. And talk to a lot of filmmakers that are actually in Ukraine filming and dancing on the screen, Bollywood musicals. And I'm like, you guys are in Ukraine while the war is going on, while bombs are going on. And that's how life is right now. And these veterans and military are really doing a fantastic job to allow civilians to live normal lives while the war is going on the other side. I just can't understand how that goes, but it does go that way. And people are actually living out there, doing things, going to restaurants, living a life. But this is the modern war that we live in. And it's different from the movies that we see. And so, but it's happening. And so your program, I think, is great. It's second to none. And we need to promote it and talk about it so more people are aware of it, and especially for our veterans. So thank you for what you do for veterans, and we got an award, so we're very proud of it. So thank you so much.
All right.